My name is Kathy Baumgartner-Hetrick, and Steve Philippi and I undertook a very large project this year of the 250th anniversary of Palmyra. We have decided to do some oral histories of people who have lived in Palmyra. Most of them are over the age of 80 or 85, and we asked them to tell us their story about Palmyra so that we could put together a DVD that you're going to watch now that has the stories of Palmyra based on the people who have lived here. We hope you enjoy it. We've had a fun time doing it, and we think you'll learn a lot about Palmyra and the history of Palmyra through the stories of Palmyra.
I was a year old when we came to Palmyra, and my father had bought the milk business from Mr. Hassler, and that was in 1920. I was born in 1919.
Okay, so you're in your 90s. In Lemoyne, okay. But you're in your 90s now. Okay,
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of changes in Palmyra in those 90 years. What do you think is the most significant change that took place?
Oh, how we grew. And of course, with the Hershey right next door, the people in Palmyra always had some place to work. We also had a lot of people who lived here in Palmyra that worked at the Capitol in Harrisburg. And the trolleys ran from Palmyra to Hummelstown. Then you had to change and get on another trolley to go to Harrisburg.
Okay. And how long did the trolleys run?
Oh,
Do you remember?
I'd say to about the 40s.
Right, I think it was 48. You and I were looking at that.
Yeah,
I think it was 1948 that the last trolley was in Palmyra.
Yes.
What advantages do you think that you had growing up in Palmyra? I mean, you could have lived in Lemoyne the rest of your life, but you were in Palmyra. What advantages do you think that gave you to your life?
Well, we had a good school. We had plenty of churches that our family went to it's now the United Methodist Church. It was the EUB. And we had a theater. The Seltzer Theater was wonderful. We could go on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Mother, we lived right on the main street, and Mother put a sign out, open for tourists, and she rented the second floor, and that's how she saved the money to educate her 4 children. We had the milk business, and it was just a nice, friendly town. And you could walk. It wasn't as big as it is now.
You mentioned the schools. I know that your profession actually was with the school district. Do you want to talk about what you did?
Well, I was the first school nurse. I came home from training in Philadelphia. I graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in nurses training. And in 1941, the school board decided they were going to have a school nurse. I was the first school nurse in Palmyra. I set up the program. We met in the Cherry Street building. Then we only had Cherry Street and Railroad Street and Cherry Street. Mr. Hartz was the principal. The nurses from Morristown and Lebanon, Elko and Cornwall Manor. They were both graduates from the University of Pennsylvania, and they helped me and advised me as to what a school nurse would do. We mainly weighed and measured every child. We examined the ears. Every child had their eyes examined, and we made home calls. We went through that rheumatic fever period where a special nurse came in and if a child had been out of school running a temperature, she would make the home calls because they were so afraid of rheumatic fever and heart disease.
When was that?
That was in the 50s.
Okay, that's interesting, because that's about when I had my strep throat, and they were worried about rheumatic fever then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the common at that time. Oh, okay. All right, very good. Anything else you want to tell us? Okay.
No, I guess
Very
that's
good.
about all.
That's okay, because we have to wrap it, Steve. They're gonna kick us out, I think. But